Welcome to another flight review. Today we're going from Belgrade to Doha on Qatar Airways flight, my favorite one world airline, and I'm really excited to share this experience with you guys. This was actually my first time flying out of Belgrade airport, but it turned out to be compact and relatively easy to navigate. We headed to the check-in counters first. There was a dedicated counter for business class passengers and status holders. There was also a separate priority lane at security, so we were through to the lounge pretty quickly. Qatar uses the Air Serbia lounge at Belgrade Airport. It's a smallish space divided into two zones. On the one side you have a seating area, and on the other side there is the food and the dining tables. We decided not to eat at the lounge and save it for the plane instead. Here is a glimpse of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner that will fly us to Doha today. The flight time is around 5 hours, and actually most Qatar flights between Belgrade and Doha are served by the Airbus A320 family configured with short-haul business class. I chose this flight specifically because of the Dreamliner, because I wanted my mom, who I'm traveling with today, to try a long-haul business class product. Qatar's 787s are configured in the 1-2-1 configuration in the forward cabin. These are not Q suites, but in my opinion they're the next best thing that the airline has. Note how there are no overhead bins in the middle, which makes the cabin look spacious, and the large windows definitely help as well. But anyway, let's take a look at the seat. Right in front of you, you have the large entertainment screen, and then there is a massive tray table that slides out from underneath it. This feels very solid and is super comfortable to work on or have dinner on, as we'll see later. There's also a decent amount of storage, which includes both armrests, which also act as storage bins. And then there are plenty of surfaces between the window and the seat where you can also put stuff on. Below you have seat controls, a USB port for charging, and the remote for the entertainment system. By the way, the cabin crew and their service was, as always, impeccable. My mom doesn't speak any English, and our flight attendant still managed to give her a seat tour using gestures. Also, when I told her that we'd be having a 24-hour stopover in Doha, she wrote down some recommendations of the places that we should visit, which, by the way, we followed, and she seemed genuinely excited about making these suggestions. The meal service started with a beverage. I chose the non-alcoholic champagne, which was lovely, and warm nuts. Unlike BA, Qatar doesn't serve these in plastic packaging. This was followed by a starter, and here I went with the Arabic meze. You get 3 different meze options and some warm pita bread. This is my favorite starter on Qatar. My mom got the same and she really enjoyed it, and so did I, obviously. For the main course, I went with the beef fillet, which was, let's say it was okay for beef fillet served on an airplane. As for the dessert, I decided to keep it for later. At the back of the business class cabin, there is an area with some snacks that you can grab at any time. We weren't really hungry as the main meal service had pretty generous portions, but still went to check it out. My mom, by the way, was excited about everything. It was her first time on a wide-body airplane and also her first time in long-haul business class with lie-flat seats. After the meal service, the crew dimmed the cabin lights, which I guess was a cue for everyone to go to sleep. So I decided to explore the bed mode of my seat. I apologize for the terrible image quality, but I can tell you it's a pretty comfortable bed for an airplane. I slept here for a solid 8 hours last year when I was flying from Sydney to Doha. Finally, shortly before descent started, I asked the flight attendant for the dessert. I picked the fruit salad and my mom went with the chocolate mousse, and we both ended up happy with our dessert choices. My mom said she had never had a flight go by so quickly, even though this was the longest flight she had ever taken. And now we're coming up to the part that surprised me the most. While I have flown with Qatar Airways before, I've never gone through the arrivals in Doha, as I was always transiting to another destination. This time though, as I said, we were going to have a 24-hour stopover to explore the city a little, and when we reached immigration, I saw a large queue of people and asked a member of staff whether there was a priority lane for business class, but I wasn't really hoping for much. They pointed us to the left and said that we could use the business class arrival lounge. This turned out to be a large and mostly deserted space, at least at the time we were there. And there were some snacks available, lots of seating. But anyway, best of all, there are separate passport control lanes without any queue at all. So in the end, it took us like 30 seconds to go through immigration. And that was the end of the flight for us, but not the end of the trip. Because after 24 hours in Doha, we're gonna take the second flight in this booking from Doha to Dubai. But this time it's gonna be an Airbus A320. So we're gonna check out Qatar's short-haul business class. Once I have posted that video as well, I'm gonna add a link to it down below in the description. And in any case, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see future flight reviews, and also if you want to learn more about credit cards and how you can use credit card points to travel business class and first class without breaking the bank. Do bear in mind though that most of my credit card content is relevant to the UK market. And with that, thank you so much for watching the video today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.